You might have heard or even experienced Portuguese generosity. The Portuguese are very generous people. Now, and what do we give for Christmas especially? Well, obviously presentes. Nós damos presentes. But come on, let's be honest, we're generous all year long. So because this is the language in school, so we're doing things a little different here. Did I take them all? Yes. In case we haven't met, I'm Catarina, this is the language in school, and I help people who want to find their voice in European Portuguese, which means essentially people who are serious about expressing themselves without limit in Portuguese, because they know that it will make a huge difference in how at home they feel in Portugal. So today, essentially, I'm going to cover a bunch of meanings of the word dar, the verb, and here we go. I'm going to start with the easier things that we give, but then I'll move on to more expressions used with the verb dar. But stay tuned because it's going to be fun. Okay, número 1. Dar beijinhos. Means I'm going to make my Christmas tree, so I have 25. I had to constrain myself to having only 25. Where is it? Aha, encontrei. Número 1. Only 25 things that we give. So dar beijinhos means give little kisses. So when we meet someone in Portugal, we always give a kiss. Unless it's very formal situation, then it would be perhaps a handshake, but normally we start with a kiss, actually 2 kisses. That's the norm in Portugal when we greet them and when we say goodbye. Okay, número 2, dar abraço. Now, while writing this piece of paper, I actually realized the word abraço, hug, includes the word for braço in Portuguese. So, quite logical, right? Now, número 2. An abraço, normally, of course, it's more men who will hug, but dar abraço, of course, is something we do. Okay, then we have dar, número 3, dar passo bem. This one I love. I may have mentioned in my video of my favorite Portuguese words, I can't remember, but it means literally, did you pass well? So, passou bem, did you pass well? But it means to give a pass well, which is a handshake. So, dar passo bem. I love it. This was number 3. Put it over here. And then, dar gargalhadas. Okay, dar gargalhadas, número 4 está estragado. Okay, it's broken. Não dá. Não dá. As in, I can't put it here. So when something doesn't work, não dá. Can't do anything with it. So I'll put it on the side. Número 5, dar arroto. Could of course be one or many. Dar arroto. If Christmas dinner, lunch, whatever was good, that happens. It's not considered polite at all by any means. But I thought it was interesting how to show you the full length of generosity of the Portuguese. Okay, it gets even better. Número 6. Dar puns, dar tracos, or dar peitos. I combine all these 3 into one piece of paper, otherwise I would go way beyond 25. Puns is farts. Tracos is fart, but the ones that sound like a shotgun. Peidos is a word, it's similar, but I think it's a word mainly used by boys or guys. As in, I don't use it, but maybe it's me being sexist about the word. Número 6. Número 7. Okay, we have quite a few in here, so all similar in one way, related. So, dar estaladas, pá. Dar bufetadas, pá. Similar word, so a slap. Dar palmadas. So essentially would be the word, it differentiates from the other 2 because it would be towards a child and not on the face. So that would be on the bum. And then porrada. Porrada is if you get punched a lot. Murro is 1 punch. And then you have toque. Now, toque, I put it here, it's not super related, but essentially is a touch. It means a touch, literally. But what it actually means is super fun because it's back in the day, I think, probably before smartphones existed, and maybe you didn't have any money on your phone, no credit, you would maybe call a parent and just let it ring once. They would see you call them or try to call them, and they would call you back. So with certain people, you wouldn't call them, you would just dar toque, and that was enough. That's how it worked. Okay, this one is número 8, dar dentadas, so to give bites. You know, you could give a bite, dar dentadas to your Christmas dinner. Maybe a pet would give it to your shoe. I don't know. It could vary, of course. We give bites, dar dentadas. Of course, I was thinking not you would do it to your food. I was actually thinking of giving it to someone, but anyway. And then número 9, slightly related, dar lambidelas. Okay, lambidela, dar uma lambidela is to give a lick. So if you're eating an ice cream, maybe, can I just give dar uma lambidela? I just want to try it out, and you would say that. And that was my memory for numbers, não for that. Número 9, vamos por aqui. E agora, número 10, dar de comer. Okay, this one I have a preposition in the middle. I'm sort of cheating because the idea was just give something, not give of something. But I thought it was interesting and important because it's very different from English. So in English you would say, I will feed my cat in a minute. But in Portuguese we say dar de comer, give of eating, give of to eat even, which is quite different. And if you have pets, it's important for you to know. So there you go. And this is one, some are broken, alguns estão estragados. Número 11. Something we never like, probably during Christmas with family, and you get these and this kind of gifts that is rather you didn't get. But anyway, it's likely you will hear these. So, dar conselhos, dar ideias, ou dar na cabeça. Dar conselhos is to give advice. You may notice that sometimes the Portuguese, when we speak in English, we will say give advices. Because in Portuguese it's plural, we can make it plural. Dar conselho, dar conselhos, okay? So it's I always need to think before I use the word advice in English. And just remember it's spelled with an S. If you're talking about the council, like the city council, then it's with a C. Good to remember. And then dar ideias, give ideas. And the last one, dar-lhe na cabeça, to give him or her in the head. Meaning, dê-me na cabeça. It's like was a bit of a pain for me. Like insisted too much on something. Okay, this one is super useful to know because it's not one of those literal translations. So dar uma volta, to give a turn, meaning I'm just going to go for a walk. It doesn't have to be for a walk, it could be I'm going to go for a ride. So in English you would differentiate the means of transportation you would use. In Portuguese, it's just I'm going out for a bit. Okay, dar uma volta. Número 12. I think I should have organized this differently because I don't know where the little things are anymore. This one is only suitable for children. Unfortunately, at some point we stop growing, so it's dar salto, to give a jump. Of course, it could mean literally like dar salto and you give a jump, but it means, you know, when kids grow really rapidly, you haven't seen them for a while, say, there's salto. So you gave a jump. 13. I don't know where the pieces are. Well, this one is funny. So if you've done this in Portugal, parabéns, congratulations. Unlikely around Christmas time, but who knows. So dar nó, give the knot. Can you guess what this means? It means getting married. Should be clear. Here we go. Now, número 15, we have dar pro torto, dar merda, dar azar. All sort of negative. So dar para torto means slanting or not straight, like the pizza tower. And we have dar para o, and I pronounce it dar pro torto. We combine that, of course, informally. If I would be reading the news, this is not how I would pronounce it. Dar pro torto, dar po torto, even I could say. And then dar merda. Merda is probably a word I shouldn't be saying here, but I'm just reading from a piece of paper, not my words, meaning it didn't go well. And dar azar, to give bad luck. It gave bad luck. In Portugal, we let's say we would be superstitious about seeing a black cat. Some people might believe in that. So you'd say, ver gato preto dá azar. And that was number 15. Também não sei onde é que está. This is funny. 16. dar baile. So baile is like a ball, like a dance. What do you call it a baile in English? Dar baile or dar uma tanga. So dar baile is when you either make fun of someone or you win over someone by, far big advantage. Dar uma tanga is when either you fool someone as well or you tell someone a lie. Deu uma tanga. Okay? That was 16, I have 16. 16 is here. And then 17, dar graxa. Okay, if you need to buy shoeshine for your shoes in Portugal, now you know the word for it, graxa. And to dar graxa is essentially, I think in English you would say give music to someone. I'm not sure now. Let's say a man to a woman say, oh, I love your eyes and they're so pretty. Your cooking was so good. You dar graxa, like bless, okay? We also do that. Number 17. There you go. And then 18, dar trela. Okay, trela means the leash, like a dog leash. You give enough room for someone to, talk or something. Like it could be on a date. Não des trela para alguém. Don't give leash to someone. Like you need to put limits, impose some limits there. 18. Número 19. Okay, dar trabalho, so to give work, or dar uma trabalheira, it's a synonym. Instead of trabalho, work, we say uma trabalheira. It's even more Portuguese if you can say that. So something that is, was a lot of work. Now, let me take a little break from the giving of just the words and tell you about my Mini-Tuga. In case you haven't grabbed it, you can check the link in the description where I share with you 6 different kinds of native content that you could be using to expose yourself to the language. And they do have the aid of text and audio, certainly important when you're starting out. And since this topic of the verb dar, to give, is on your radar, you're bound to encounter these, and then you go like, oh, I heard Katerina talk about that in the video, there we go. And then maybe you're going to the coffee place and you're going to hear it. The textbook on the side and use native content to really immerse yourself in the language. It doesn't matter if you're in Portugal or not. It works both ways. And I also have here dar dores de cabeça, give a headache, right? If something is hard to do, hard to accomplish, you would say deu dores de cabeça. Oh, and what's the number? It's an off. Não sei onde está. Oh well. Okay, and then this is again me sort of cheating, but it's a good one to know because it does include a preposition in the middle. So dar para ouvir, dar para ver, dar para sentir, dar para perceber. Okay, so this one you manage to see, hear, feel, or you get it. 20. O 20 também está estragado. Vamos lá. Okay, here we start more with the expressions. So número 21, we're almost there. Dar jeito. And this is, we say all the time. So let's say you want to make an appointment for having a coffee with someone in Portugal, and the person will say in Portuguese, no, às 9 não me dá jeito. At 9, it doesn't work for me. So you could say, of course, dá jeito, that's good, that works for me. Or you could say, it doesn't work for me, não dá jeito. Número 21, eu não sei onde é que está. Ok. Número 22, dar que falar. So if it's give to talk is again hard to translate. Let's say a girl got pregnant at the age of 16. It's vai dar que falar. It will give a lot to talk, okay? A lot of gossip is bound to happen. Okay, número 23, I like this one. I like them all. Dar pano para mangas. Similar to the previous one, dar pano, so give cloth. Para mangas. Mangas is sleeves. It also means mangoes, by the way. But it means like there's going to be more of that. Let's say the girl that got pregnant, and then, it's vai dar pano para mangas. Someone can say, we're going to hear more of that later on, okay? And then 23, almost there. Okay, número 24. A dar com o pau. Or a dar com pau. So both work. Apparently the origin of this expression, I looked it up, it has something to do with Brazil. Essentially it means there's a lot of something, okay? It has to do with quantity. So I could say, Or you could say, Catarina, são expressões a dar com pau. It's like too many expressions you're giving us. Am I? No. 24. Next year I'm getting a normal Christmas tree. Okay. Last one. It's not really... We go beyond the verb dar and we add a prefix to it, which is man. So mandar. And that means to tell someone to do something, as in boss someone around, mandar. If you want to give your Portuguese a go and the unschooling approach resonated with you, then I left a link in the description for you to book a call to see if I'm the right person to be helping you out in this journey of finding your voice in Portuguese. And if you want to take a step further, then watch this video next, where I tell you about the little words cá and lá, and if you add these to the verb dar, it will make it sound like you are mandar, bossing everyone around in a polite way. Okay, I'll explain more in the video. Adeus, boas festas, até para o ano.